Hello, good morning students. See myself Dipesh Shah and here it's our 7th lecture of your accounts standard 11 and we complete in our last lecture chapter number 1, that is accounts and its terminology, introduction of accounts and its terminology. I hope you all read and learn that terminology and you all write in your example book all these things. Okay, now today we will continue with our next chapter, that is dual effects, that is chapter number 2, dual effects of transactions and the types of accounts. See, first of all, the word is transaction. Here in the terminology we show that first word, that is business transaction. Here we have to know about the extra about that is dual effect. See, transactions has two-way process. Minimum it has a two-way process. First, one party give their services or their goods to the other party, and on the consideration of that the other party pay cash or check on the spot, that is immediately, or afterwards, that is on credit basis. Okay, so there are two-way process and it is called a dual effect of transactions. But for that, first of all, we again understood what is business transaction. See, I am reading on page number 24 the definition of transaction, that is business transaction. Business transactions means the exchange of product or service, that is goods or services of a business for each for cash and or on credit. Cash on credit, that means immediately paid a cash, or there are promises to give up cash, that is on the basis of credit or on credit between two or more than two persons. They see the transactions has two-way process. One is giving something, goods or services, on the other way the other party, other person, on the consideration of that giving a cash or giving a promise to pay a cash. That is called a business transaction. See, in the business transactions there are two types of business transactions. First one is economic and then the second one is non-economic transaction. See that classification of business transactions. Here on the page number 25 the chart is given and we have to understood that particular chart by in detail. See here, business transaction has two parts. First one is economic transactions and the second one is non-economic transactions. First of all, we have to know about that what is economic transactions and what is non-economic transactions. See, the definition of economic transaction is whenever the transactions is measured in money, that is called an economic transaction. In simple word, if you can say that the transactions which is measured in money, or you can say it has a monetary value, then it is called an economic transactions. And other words, whenever the transactions which has no monetary value or which cannot be measured in a money, that is called a non-economic transactions. Okay, first of all I will give you the example of economic transactions. If I am selling a goods to someone for 5,000, I am selling a goods on cash for 5,000. See, 5,000 goods value is 5,000, so it has a monetary value. Other party pay me rupees 5,000, that's why it is called an economic transaction, right? Okay, I purchase rupees 10,000 goods from Messrs Mehta and Company. See, I am purchasing the goods of rupees 10,000 from Messrs Mehta and Company, and on the credit basis. What means of that on the credit basis? That means I am not right now pay any amount to the Mehta and Brothers, right? Messrs Mehta and Company, and I am just taking out the purchasing the goods. Okay, so that is also an economic transactions. I am giving a promise that I am giving that particular money, that is 10,000, after 5 or 10 days. Okay, so he give me the goods on my credit in the market. I have a credit in the market, and he know me regularly, and that's why he give me the goods and on the credit basis. That's why I can say that I am purchasing the goods from Messrs Mehta and Mehta Brothers for rupees 10,000 on credit basis, and 10,000 is a monetary value. It is measured in money. That's why it is an economic transaction. Okay, I will give you one other example. I am paying a salary to my worker, to my staff, that is rupees 5,000. I am paying rupees 5,000 to my worker, to my staff. That is also an economic transaction because the salary is measured in money. That's why 5,000 is measured in money. That's why we can say that is an economic transaction. So, what is an example of non-economic transactions? See, the example of non-economic transaction is if I am just calling to my supplier that give me these goods. That is, I am just giving an order. See, I am just giving an order on phone that you have to give me, I want to purchase these so and so goods from you. They say, okay, I have that goods, particular goods, please take it. Okay, so that is only an order. It is not the value, it is not measured in money. See, if transactions means what? It is between two parties. It is a two-way process. If I am giving a goods or taking a goods or services, and if I am paying or receiving cash. In telephonic communications, we just give an order and the other party just say yes, it is okay. No any transactions is there. That means no any economic transactions is there. See, there is no value of telephonic communication. If they give me a goods or if I am giving a payment, then it is an economic transactions. That's why the order is not an economic transaction. It is a telephonic communication, but it is for the business. That's why it is called a business transactions. If I am calling a person to give me this so and so goods, that is, I am giving an order to give me some goods, then it is also a business transactions because it is for the business purpose. The telephonic communication is for the business purpose. That's why it is a business transactions. But there is no measurement in money for the telephonic communication. That's why it is an non-economic transactions. Okay, this is the brief. Now I am reading the particular things. Business transactions, first one is economic and second one is non-economic. Under that, economic transactions, see, non-economic transactions has no subparts, but now the economic transactions has two parts. That is, first is cash or credit transactions and second one is internal and external transaction. Cash oblique credit transactions, and you can say economic transaction as second subpart, that is internal oblique external transactions. Right? Internal and external transactions and cash and credit transactions. Cash and credit transactions has also some three subparts, that is cash transactions, credit transactions and other transactions. See here, cash and credit transactions has also three subpart. First one is cash. We have to understand these all because whenever we are writing an account, we first of all know the business transactions which type of transactions is there, then we have to know about the accounts, that is types of accounts, and then we can write the account, particular account, right? So it is an art, that's why we have to understood all these things, that small things we have to understood. What is cash, what is first of all business transactions, then under that what is economic and non-economic transactions, under that what is cash transactions, then what is credit transaction, and what is other transactions. Then internal and external transactions has also sub two parts, that is the name of that two, internal and external transactions. That is within the business, that is internal, out of the business, that is external. Okay, so this is the chart. Now first one is economic transactions. I am reading that only economic transactions of business are recorded in the books of business. See, I told you at the time of business transactions that economic transactions should be recorded in the books of accounts. Non-economic transaction, that is only the communication, just a telephonic communication, or you can say just a plan to do something, that is also for the business, but a plan to do something, that is also called a non-economic transactions, that should not be recorded in the books of accounts, right? So here the first word is you have to record only these economic transactions, and that's why the economic transactions has subparts. You don't have to record non-economic transactions. It is just for your knowledge that it is a business transactions, but it should not be recorded in the books of accounts, because there is no measurement of money, there is no monetary value, then it never be recorded in the books of accounts, because accounts is only for the measurement of the profit or loss, right? So if there is no monetary value, if there is no measurement in money, then you cannot write down that particular transactions, that is non-economic transactions. Okay, those business transactions the value of which can be measured in money from form of cash, and where the exchange of money in cash is to be made immediately or in future is called economic transactions. It is just brief of economic transactions. I told you in my own language what is economic transaction. The transactions at present keeping the proposed exchange of money in future, which create a relationship of debtor or creditor. What is debtor? Who is the debtor? Who is the creditor? See, I explain you all that things. What is debtor? See, whenever I am selling the goods to some party and he not immediately paid me a cash, he give me a promise to pay a cash, then he will become a debtor for me. As well as whenever I am purchasing the goods from the party, and if I am not paying immediately any cash to that party, I am giving only the promise to pay that particular cash in after 10 or 15 days, that is called a credit transaction, right? And that is also called a economic transactions, and he will become a creditor for me. Okay, so in terminology, debtor creditor is there. See, the terminology is very useful in each and every next chapters. That's why I told you that please read that and please understand that by seeing the videos again and again. Okay, so you have to keep in mind all these 1 to 46 terminology, because it will be used in our next chapters. Okay, so now see what is the cash and credit transactions viewpoint. See, now economic transactions have two parts, cash credit transactions and internal and external transactions. Now we understood about the cash and credit transactions viewpoint of that. The transactions take place in three forms. First one is cash transaction, then second one is credit, and the third one is other transaction. What is that? First, cash transactions. In type of transactions, money is paid, received for exchange of goods or services. See, in my own words, whatever I am telling you, that is the definition is here. What is cash transactions? See, the transactions means what? One party is giving their services or goods and the other party is paying the cash. That is called a business transaction, or you can say economic transaction. Here in the definition of cash transaction, the same thing is that in this type of transaction, money is paid or received and for exchange of goods or services. See, cash transaction for the assets. Whenever we are purchasing the assets, we have to pay the cash, or whenever we are selling the assets, we have to receive the cash. So it is a transaction, it is a cash transactions, but it is for the assets, not for goods or services. See, whenever I am selling the goods, I am purchasing the goods, that is a goods, that is I am regularly purchasing or selling that particular item. But if I am purchasing a AC, what is the definition of assets? See, I told you at the time of assets terminology that whatever item I am purchasing to help my business, that is called asset, right? And if I am immediately paying cash for that, that is a cash transactions of purchasing and assets. Okay, see here, cash transactions for assets. In this category, assets is purchased by the payment of money, or money is realized by the sale of assets. Example, furniture worth rupees 10,000 is purchased for the business, cash paid and assets is purchased. A scooter sold for 40,000, assets sold and cash is received. See, this is a cash transactions, but it is a cash transactions for the assets. Now, the cash transactions for goods and services. Second point, cash transactions for goods. Goods is purchased in exchange of money, or money is realized from the sale of goods. That is also called a cash transaction. See, in cash transaction, in short, whenever you are doing a transaction, that is whenever you are purchasing or selling assets or goods or services, immediately cash paid or received, that means it is a cash transactions. In each and every economic transactions, whenever you are paying or you are receiving a cash or check, see, cash equivalent to the check, checks are equivalent to the cash, right? Paying or receiving cash or checks, that is called an cash transaction. Okay, now cash transactions for services. Whenever you are receiving a service for the AC repairing, see, it is, and whenever you are paying for the repairing AC, that is also a service transaction. See, repairing of AC, repairing of machinery, repairing of anything, that is a service, right? And whenever we are paying for that, that is called a service transaction, cash service transaction. Cash is paid for acquiring services, or cash is received for provided services. That is salary. See, if I am paid a salary to my staff, that is I am paying rupees 5,000 to my staff as a salary, and I am receiving 1 month his skill, his services to my business, for my business. That is also a cash transactions for services. Okay, so cash transaction for goods, cash transactions for services, as well as the cash transaction for the assets. In that, whenever you are paying or receiving any cash, that is called a cash transaction. Now, see here, transactions for the receivable payables. What is that? Transactions for the receivable and payable. See, I am receiving the promise, or I am giving a promise to pay the money or to receive a money, right? Then at the time of the due date, see, at the time of due date means what? I am giving a promise to pay that particular money after 10 days. That means after 10 days it is a due date, right? So that on that day, whenever I am paying or I am receiving the amount, that is also called a cash transactions. Means what? Whenever I am paying or whenever I am receiving a cash, that is called a cash transactions. Here the transactions for receivable and payable. What is receivable? What is payable? See, I told you in the terminology that bills receivable, bills payable, or at the time of debtor and creditor, whenever you are paying to the debtor, whenever you are receiving from the debtor and whenever you are paying to the creditor, that at that time cash is exchanged, right? So at the time of cash is exchange, it is called a cash transactions. So here the transaction for receivable and payable, any amount which is outstanding to pay for the assets, goods or services acquired in the past is known as payables. Any amount which is outstanding to pay for assets, goods or services in past, which is purchased in past, so it is called a payable. It is known as payable, and we have to pay that money after 10 days or after 15 days or after on the due date, right? So whenever I am paying that payables, that is called a cash transaction. Or in the vice versa, whenever I am receiving a receivable, whatever I am selling, goods, service or assets, on the basis of that, whenever I am in past and whenever I am receiving on the due date any amount in cash or checks, that is called again a cash transactions of receivables, right? Now see, it is a cash transactions. Now note, see the note and underline the note that instead of cash transactions, if transactions are made through checks, that is by bank, this is also included in cash transactions. I already told you that if you are paying or receiving cash or checks, that is by bank, through transactions is also known as cash transactions. Okay, so cash transaction is not for cash, it is also for check. Okay, so underline the notes. Then second one is credit transactions. What is credit transactions? See, in this type of transactions, money is not paid immediately for the purchase and sales transactions of the assets, goods and services. See, what is credit transactions? See, in the market I have some credit, right? That is, I am purchasing or I am selling the goods to anybody without paying or without receiving a cash. That is my credit on the market, right? So on the basis of that credit, if I am purchasing or I am selling the goods or services or assets, and at that time immediately cash or check is not received but promise will be received or given, then it is called a credit transaction, right? Money for those purchase and sales is to be paid in the future, that is in the future date, 5 days, 10 days, whatever the promise is there, 5, 10, 15, 1 month, 2 months, whatever the promise is there. However, exchange of assets, goods and services is made in the present. We have to exchange the goods, services or assets immediately, but we don't receive or paid any amount in cash. That is called a credit transaction. Okay, see, from this the transactions relation of debtor creditors come into existence. Debtor and creditor only comes into existence whenever we are purchasing or selling the goods on credit basis. If I am immediately paid a cash or if I am immediately received a cash, then it is no any existence of debtors and creditors. Debtors and creditors come into existence only on the basis of credit transactions. Okay, so in brief, purchase and sale of assets, goods, services are made in present, but there is money is payable or receivable in future. That is called a credit transaction. Underline that particular line, in brief. After that, in brief, purchase, sales of assets, goods, services are made in the present, but their money is payable or receivable in future. That is called a credit transactions. These transactions are recognized as credit transactions. Example is given. Now the third point is other transactions. I already see that all the credit transactions example, that's why I am not reading that transactions, credit transactions example. Now the third type of cash or credit transactions is other transactions. What is that? See that. the transactions that do not fall into the above mentioned two types, that is not in cash, not in credit, that is called other transactions. Which type of that? See here, special transactions. See, the transactions which not covered under cash transactions or credit transactions, it is called a special transactions, or you can say it is a other transaction. These are neither cash nor credit transactions. These are special transactions. These transactions are recorded in the books. That is what? Which one is the transactions? Example, goods destroyed in accident. See, if fire is occurred in your business, in your shop, and your goods are burned by fire, that is not a cash transaction, not a credit transactions. You are not selling that particular goods, but here your goods is burned by fire. Here there is no goods in your shop and you have a huge loss, right? You are purchasing that particular goods from somebody, right? You have to pay to that, and you cannot sell that particular goods because it is burned by fire. That's why it is called a goods destroyed by fire, and it is also recorded in the books of accounts because it is a loss. It is not a cash transactions, it is not a credit transactions, it is a special transactions in which you have to pay the money to the supplier, but you cannot get the money from the from the customer because you are not selling already your goods, right? It is burned in your shop, it is burned by fire, and it is loss for you, right? And that's why it is called not cash, not credit, it is a special transaction, right? Next, theft of goods. Again, goods given for the donation, it is not also a cash or credit transaction because in exchange there is no any cash received right now, that is immediately or afterward, because you are giving a donation. Whenever you are giving a donation, you cannot get a money on the exchange of goods or services. That's why it is called a donation, right? So whenever you are giving the goods or services into the donation, that is also not cash, not credit, it is a special transaction. Okay, so but it is measured in money. See, you can say that I am giving a 10,000 donation to so and so institute, right? So I am giving a 10,000 goods, 10,000 rupees goods to so and so institute, right? For that is a donation, but at that time it is recorded in the books of accounts because it is measured in money. It has a monetary value. That's why you have to record, but you cannot receive cash immediately or afterwards. That's why it is not a credit or cash transaction. It is a special transaction. Okay, so here it is the examples of other transactions. Now see the next part. Here the first part is for the economic transaction is cash credit transactions. Under that, cash transaction, credit transaction, and other transactions are there. Now the second part of economic transaction is internal transactions as well as external transactions. What is that? See, in certain transactions there is no need of the other parties. These transactions would take place within the business. See, the transactions within a business, that is called internal transactions. I told you at the time of writing these. Internal transactions means what? Within the business, that is internal transactions, and out of the business, that is external transactions. There is no any see, these transactions take place in two forms. In certain transactions there is no need of other parties. See, within the business there is no need of other, that is external parties within the business would take place within the business. These transactions are recorded in the books of accounts, that is depreciation of assets. What is that? Depreciation, I told you that depreciation is a separate chapter of part 2. But what is depreciation? If you are purchasing a furniture for your business help, right? And if the afterwards the value of that furniture is decreased, that is called a depreciation. See, in that no other external parties is there, only we are using that furniture and the value of that furniture is decreased. That's why it is called an internal transaction within the business transaction. Okay, so second example, loss due to natural calamities. It is also our internal. No other party need to be for these transactions. Natural calamities, or you can say goods burned by fire in your personal store, right? That means what? That is also an internal transaction. Goods destroyed by fire, goods burned by fire, it is also called an internal transactions because there is no need to other parties. It is within the business. That's why it is called an internal transaction. And what is an external transaction? These transactions are between the business and other parties, right? These are economic transactions of the business. These transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. See, internal as well as external transactions both are recorded in the books of accounts compulsory. If I am paying a salary to my staff, that is 5,000 I am paying to my staff, that is called an internal transactions within the business, right? And if I am selling the goods, if I am purchasing the goods from the other party, that is out of the business, that's why it is called an external transactions. But both have monetary value, both are measured in money. That's why both are recorded. That is internal as well as external. Both transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. The transactions which has monetary value or which can be measured in money should be recorded. That is economic transactions, and it should be recorded in the books of accounts. Okay. So, the external transactions, these transactions are between the business and other parties. These economic transactions of business, these transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. Example, sales of goods of customer, payment of wages to the worker. All these things are external transactions. It is the example of external transactions. Now, the non-economic transactions, I already told you what is that. Non-economic transactions are those transactions whose value cannot be measured in terms of money. That is called an non-economic transactions. Okay, so here the theory part of the transactions, business transactions is over. I will give you here 2 to 3 minutes for reading all these things, because now the practical questions regarding economic and non-economic transactions is start. That is illustration number 1. Okay, so first of all I will give you here 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes to read these all the transactions. That is page number 25 and page number 26. Please read that. Okay, read that particular all the words: economic, non-economic, under that economic, cash, credit, other transactions, under that internal and external transactions. Okay, and read all the examples for that. Okay, now we will understood. First of all, we have to classify that which transactions is there. Whenever in the question there are two types of transactions is given, first we have to classify into two ways, that is first one is economic and second one is non-economic. And in the next example we have to classify in the other next sub part, that is first of all you have to understood it is economic or non-economic. Under that you have to write down that it is cash or credit transactions, or you can say it is a special transaction, right? So now here in first transaction we just have to classify in two different ways, that is economic or non-economic transaction. See, I am reading the first question. Describe whether the following transactions are economic or non-economic transactions and clarify the reasons for it. See, what is the reason for economic and non-economic transactions? See, the simple reason is that, what is the simple reason? If it is measured in money, then it is a cash transactions, and if it is not measured in money, then it is an non-economic transactions, right? Okay, so first one I am writing down the first one. See, I am not writing here question, that is transactions given here. Assets purchased for 10,000, that is the transactions. I am not writing out here, but you have to write in your example book first transactions full, first number, then the transactions given in the, that is question given in the textbook on page number 26. You have to write here the question, that is first question is assets purchased for 10,000. I am writing for the first time. First transaction only I am writing assets purchase for rupees 10,000. Assets purchase for rupees 10,000. See, 10,000 is a monetary value and assets purchase, that's why you can say it is an economic transaction, right? So here you have to clarify that, you have to classify that into two. It is an economic or non-economic. So you can say it is measured in money, that's why it is an economic transaction. Economic you have to write in the economic or non-economic column, and the reasons for that is cash is paid against the assets. Cash is paid. If cash is paid or received, it is an economic transaction. And if we are giving or receiving a promise to pay a cash or receive a cash, that is also an economic transaction. At that time you have to write in the reason that if you are paying or receiving cash, you have to write that, or if you are giving a promise or receiving a promise to pay or receive a cash, you have to write that in the reason column whenever it is an economic transactions. Or otherwise, if there is non-economic transactions, then here you have to give the main thing, that is it is not measured in money, it means it has no monetary value, that's why it is a non-economic transactions. Okay, so you can write a reason by your own way, that means in your own words. Okay, here you have to just say that it is an economic or non-economic, that is the first thing you have to say, and reason is given by your own words. Okay, so you can write your own words also here in the question in the reason column. Now second one, I just explain you here, you have to write by this way in your example book. Okay, I am just explaining here. Example number 1, all the 11 transactions. Second transaction, assets purchased from Radha for rupees 12,000 on credit. See, assets purchased, okay, and the money amount is given, that is 12,000. Assets purchased for 12,000. So it is an economic or non-economic? See, it is an economic transactions because it is measured in money, and in the reason you can say on credit, that means relation of debtor creditor is exist. Now, okay, so now in the economic or non-economic column, you have to write it is an economic transactions, and the reason column, the credit transactions is there. You have to just write that relation of debtor creditor is exist. Now, okay. Second, now the third, asset sold for rupees 20,000. See, the party name is not given and not any paid or received amount is said. Only just say that asset sold for 20,000. That means in exchange of asset sold, you are receiving rupees 20,000 on the spot, right? Whenever the credit word is not given, you have to understood that the transactions is cash transactions, and at that time the cash is received or paid immediately. That is, you have to assume. If it is not clarified, it is not clarified in the question. Third one, assets sold for rupees 20,000. That means here asset is sold. It is an economic transaction because the measurement in money, that is 20,000, and cash is received immediately. So cash is received against the asset. Third reason is there. Now fourth one, asset sold to Mira on credit for 22,000. See, asset sold to Mira. Mira is the name, is the party name. Here the party name is given and cash word is not given, then you can say it is a credit transaction. See, it is an economic transaction. You all know that because 22,000 is there, and here exchanging of goods on the basis of purchase or sale, and debtors creditors relationship is exist because here Mira is there and Mira is not paying any cash in this transaction. So here you can write that it is an economic transaction and relation of debtor creditor is exist now. Okay, so it is a credit transactions, or you can say only it is an economic transaction first of all. Now fifth one, rupees 8,000 paid for wages. See, paid word is there, received word is there. You have to say that it is a cash transactions. Immediately paid means immediately paid a cash. Received means immediately received a cash or check, whatever, right? So whenever you are paying, paid word is there. Whenever the received word is there, you have to write it is an economic transactions, and you can say it is a cash transactions also. But it is clarified in our next example. You have to classify into cash or credit transaction, but here just you have to write economic or non-economic. It is an economic transaction and cash paid against the services because we are paying a wages. Next point, 6th point is rupees 9,000 received for rent. We are giving a service of giving my shop or my building to a party for rent on rent, and he is paying me a rent. That's why it is a given of services, and on the consideration of that I am receiving a rupees 9,000 rent. That's why, see, rent is measured in money, that is 9,000. That's why it is an economic transactions. And in the reason column, you are writing that cash received against the services. See, cash paid against services, paid salary, or you can say paid wages. That is cash paid against service. And whenever you are receiving interest, whenever you are receiving commission, whenever you are receiving a rent, that means you are receiving a cash against services. Okay. So next 7th point, liability of rupees 15,000 is settled. Settled means what? Liability is paid. Settle means, see, the word settle means what? It is a business word. Whatever you are settled, it is always in cash. if you are receiving or if you are paying, whatever, that means the word you can use, it is a settlement, right? So whenever liability is settled, that means you are paying that liability to the party, and that's why it is an economic transactions. 15,000 is there, that's why it is an economic transaction. It is measured in money. So here liability is paid in cash is the reason for that. Next point, 8th point, receivable of rupees 18,000 is received. See, receivable and payable transactions is also a example of cash transactions, right? That's why whenever you see that the receivable is received, that means it is a cash transactions, and if it is a cash transactions, it is also an economic transaction. So you have to write that it is an economic transactions and receivable is received in cash in the 8th point. Now the 9th point, see the 9th point, an order is received to supply goods of rupees 10,000. See here you can say that, sir, 10,000 is the measurement of money. See, this is the transactions in which 10,000 is given. So you can say that it has a monetary value. No, just order is taken or just order is given, that is no any monetary value, because order will be cancelled frequently, maybe, right? So order is not an economic transactions. Only giving an order, only taking an order, it's not an economic transactions. Yes, it is measured in money because the order is for so and so amount goods, right? So 10,000 amounts goods or 15,000 or 50,000 amount goods I am ordering, or someone ordered to me to supply that particular goods, but it is just an order. There is no any exchange. Here I am not giving a goods or I am not receiving a goods. At that time, same way, I am not receiving or paying any cash also. It is just a telephonic communication, or you can say a face-to-face communication that, see, give me a goods of rupees 10,000. Yes, I will send you. This is the just communication. No exchange of any goods, services or cash, anything, right? So it is called a non-economic transactions. See, it is a business transaction because it is for the business, right? Because the order given taken is only for the business. So it is a business transactions, but it has no right now monetary value. That means at the time of I am supply the goods, or if I am receiving the goods, then at that time it is become a economic transactions. But at the time of order given or taken, it is an non-economic transactions, other than it is 10,000, 15,000 amount is given, and you can say that, sir, monetary value is given, measured in money, but it has no right now any measurement in money, because only communication is not an example of economic transaction, right? So 9th point is a non-economic transaction. Now see that 10th point, a planning is made to buy one asset. See the planning, only just thinking that I want to plan, I want to buy these assets for my business. That is just a planning, that is just a thinking. See, assets of rupees 10,000, it is, if it is said that in the question, if it is asked that a planning is made to buy one assets of rupees 50,000. See, you can say 50,000 is the measurement of money, it is a monetary value. No, it is just a plan, it is just a thought, right? So you cannot take it as a economic transactions, because there is no exchange of goods and services, and as well as no exchange of cash or checks. That's why if there is no any exchange, then it is a non-economic transaction. So again, it is a non-economic transactions, and in the reason, point number 9, in the reason you have to write, it is neither cash transactions nor established relationship of debtor and creditor. That's why it is a non-economic transactions. Again, in the thinking or planning of the purchasing and assets, you have to write the same thing, neither cash or credit transactions, neither cash transactions nor establishes a debtor creditor relationship. Okay, And the last one, that is 11th, to enhance sales. For discussion, a meeting is arranged with salesmen. If I want to enhance, that means if I want to expand my sales and I am taking a meeting with salesmen, that is also an non-economic transactions, because at the time of that I am not giving any goods to my salesman and salesman not gives me any amount in exchange of cash or checks or goods, right? So here it is again just an planning. It is just an planning to enhance the sales, to increase the sales, and that meeting is not, it is a business transaction. See, it is a business transactions, but that meeting should not be recorded in the books of accounts. That order should not be recorded in the books of accounts. That planning should not be recorded in the books of accounts. That's why it is an non-economic transactions, and you can write the in this neither cash transactions and nor establish a debtor-creditor relationship. So last three are the examples of non-economic transactions, and 1 to 8 are the examples of economic transactions. You have to write these all the transactions in your example books by this way, compulsory. Okay, that is your homework. And the one other homework is your reading homework. See, here you have to read you have to write your example book in you have to write example 1 in your example book, and the second one is you have to read all these things, that is reading homework from page number 24 to page number 29. See, we complete up to illustration number 1, right? Then the next topic is identification of cash and credit transaction. See, we already understood that. That's why you have to just read the identification, that is the rules of cash and credit transactions, right? You have to read all these things, and you have to also read only the illustration number 2, and then voucher. Next topic is the voucher. You have to read all that things, right? Voucher we already understood in terminology. So these 4 points you have to read up to the 4 points. Next point is dual effect of transactions. We will do in our next lecture. So here the homework, you have to write in your example book first example, and you have to read 24 to 29 pages. Okay, thank you class.